Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Government how it will assist young people to access the expanded free bus travel scheme.
Minister Graham Day.
Presiding Officer, this potentially transformational scheme opened for applications yesterday, and there are a range of ways in which people can apply. These are detailed on the Transport Scotland website. For example, online applications for either a Young Scot National Entitlement Card or a National Entitlement Card can be made at getyournec.scot, the Improvement Services online portal. Applications can also be made directly through local councils. I believe that as of this morning, more than 37,000 applications had been made via the Get Your NEC Scot portal alone. I know there have been some concerns expressed about the complexity of the online process, but the process in place for the young person's national entitlement card is broadly similar to that for older people. And it's also obviously not ideal to be launching the scheme in the current circumstances. Given the situation with the pandemic, we are encouraging only children and young people whose travel is essential at this time to apply. As I set out in my letter to MSPs last week, I think we are striking the right balance of enabling children, young people and families who potentially have the most benefit from free bus travel to access it at the earliest opportunity, whilst maintaining plans to fully market the scheme at the right time, potentially helping bus services to recover from the impacts of the pandemic.
Gillian Martin.
I thank the Minister for that answer and the fact that he wrote to all of us MSPs and MPs last week to update us on the plans, and I'm certainly going to do what I can to promote the scheme in my constituency. Minister's right, it potentially is a transformational policy. I want to know how the Minister will ensure that children and young people who might benefit the most get their entitlement cards as early as possible. I have had some concerns raised with me from parents applying about the complexity of the application process, particularly on the proof of identity required. Is the Minister concerned that this might limit its success?
Minister Graham Day.
Can I welcome the member's positive comments about the scheme and our commitment to promote it? But there are no additional proof of age, person or address requirements when applying for a Young Scot NEC with a free bus travel product on it than when applying for one without it. The only difference is that parents, guardians or in some cases carers have to apply on behalf of children and young people under the age of 16 if they want an NEC or Young Scot NEC, which is the free bus travel product on it. And they have to provide proof of this status in order to protect the children and young people. But I want to give the reassurance that we are committed to delivering the scheme in a way that's safe for children and young people and instills confidence in parents and guardians, and that we are absolutely determined that the children and young people who might benefit the most from free bus travel don't miss out on it. And we will, of course, be monitoring this scheme and respond accordingly as we go along.
Gillian Martin.
Again, I thank the Minister for his reply and what he's just said about monitoring the scheme. I specifically raised this topical question because I did want to ask about one particular group of individuals in terms of the application process, and that's it's been raised to me by foster carers in my area. It's for care experienced and looked after children, and the fact that they might not have ready access to their birth certificates and might have to sort of have that additional process of going to council social work departments for access to them, which might complicate or extend the process for them. And obviously, these children and young people can't be disadvantaged. We need to make sure there's no barriers, additional barriers for them. Can the Minister give some comment on that specifically and how we can make sure that there are not onerous barriers for care experienced young people?
Briefly, Minister.
Joy Martin raises a perfectly valid point. I want to offer the reassurance that we are aware of the potential challenges for foster care and kinship care families. Clearly, local authorities, which are corporate parents, have responsibility here to help families access this benefit. And we are working with local authorities to ensure that is happening. But I say to members, if there are any issues that emerge involving their constituents, please contact my office and we will seek to assist.
Martin Whitfield.
I'm very grateful, Presiding Officer. The current Young Scot card has already been calculated and is part of the age standard scheme in Scotland. Why can young people not use that until they receive their new cards so they can benefit immediately from the free bus travel?
Minister.
Many existing young Scot card holders are under the age of 16, presiding officer, and therefore need their parent, guardian or carer to apply for a replacement card with the free bus travel product on their behalf. That's because we're committed to delivering the scheme in a way that's safe for children and young people. For those over the age of 16, local authority partners need to ensure they're sending a replacement card to the correct address, as details held are not necessarily current, hence the need to apply for an additional card. There are also offline young Scot NEC replacement processes in place with local councils. But again, if Mr Whitfield has any specific cases in mind, he should get in touch with me.
Colin Beattie.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. How does the Scottish Government's approach to concessionary and free bus travel differ from that of the UK Government?
Briefly, Minister.
Presiding Officer, there are some very obvious differences. The free national bus travel for the age of 60 and not state pension age would be an example. I think essentially what we have here is a determination to expand national provision of free bus travel, not shrink it insofar as that is possible.